Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's Pick a Pile reading is all about how to heal and move forward. There are 3 piles for you to choose from. From left to right we have piles 1, 2, and then 3, and the timestamps for each pile will be in the description below. Hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's jump right into it. Rejoice in Celebration opens your reading on a note of connection and emotional rebirth. Healing for you doesn't happen in isolation. It happens through relationships, through laughter, and through shared experience of being seen. Whether this means reconnecting with old friends, letting in a new community, or simply allowing yourself to be present with people again, your path is lit by joy. And joy, in this case, isn't just lighthearted fun, it's medicine. Even small moments of warmth and openness can create powerful emotional momentum right now. There's also a reminder here that celebration isn't just about good times. It's about milestones, no matter how small. A good day, a shift in mindset, a difficult conversation you finally had, these are all worth honoring. Your future isn't built by waiting for the big win, it's shaped in moments where you let life in again. Let laughter in again, even if your heart's still healing, your spirit is ready for some light. Your future self is already living a version of your life where joy isn't a guilty pleasure, it's a foundation. And the more you invite that vibration in, the faster your emotional landscape starts to shift. This card speaks to a significant emotional connection that either shaped your pain or will shape your healing. It could have been a relationship that cracked you open, forced deep decisions, or revealed patterns you didn't realize you were carrying. But whatever the role it played, it left a mark, not just on your heart, but on your identity. The Lovers invites you to look at what you learned about yourself through that experience. This connection wasn't just about love, it was about alignment. You're being asked to reflect. Have you been choosing what truly supports your values, or have you been choosing comfort that comes with compromise? Part of your healing is rooted in reclaiming your ability to choose again, with more wisdom, more self-trust, and no apology for what you want this time. This card doesn't promise reunion or resolution. It promises a chance to look at love and at yourself with clearer eyes. The next time your heart opens, it'll be from a place of truth, not longing. This is a powerful moment of reckoning, but not in a harsh or punishing way. Judgment arrives when it's time to make peace with the past and your part in it. This isn't about blame, it's about integration. What have you learned? Who have you become? And most importantly, what will you do with that wisdom? That's the turning point that moves you forward. This card signals that a version of yourself is ready to fall away, the one shaped by reaction, regret, or restraint. You're being called to step into something more whole, and healing doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt, it means honoring the fact that you grew from it, and now you're ready to evolve into someone even more aligned with the life that you want to live. Letting go of the pain is one thing, letting go of the identity that came with it, that's the real challenge. But you're ready, you're more than what happened to you, and this is the moment you get to choose who you are next. There's a cycle here that's struggling to close. Maybe something was left unresolved, a relationship that faded without clarity, a decision that never felt fully made, or an emotional chapter that still echoes even though it's over. The world reverse suggests that while everything should be complete, part of you is still holding on, waiting, hoping, and wondering. You're not wrong to want closure, but the truth is, you may not get it in the way you imagined. And part of healing is realizing that closure isn't something you're given, it's something you create. The question now is, can you let this be finished, even if it's unfinished on someone else's terms? Your future self is already walking forward, and the moment you stop waiting for external resolution is the moment you start regaining control. Don't let an open door to the past block the path that's opening right in front of you. This is the quiet shift, the release of anxiety that once had a hold on your thoughts, your sleep, even your physical body. Reversed, the 9 of Swords shows that you're learning to separate fear from truth. The mental loops are slowing, the intrusive thoughts are losing their edge, and you're not free from them yet, but you're not ruled by them either, and that's a huge step. There's also an emotional exhaustion from here, a need to rest, to exhale, to stop bracing for impact. Healing for you means allowing yourself to feel safe again. That may take time, and that's okay, but your mind is learning that it doesn't have to stay in defensive state. You're allowed to put the sword down, even if just for a moment. This part of your healing isn't loud or dramatic. It's the deep exhale after a long internal storm, and every time you catch yourself thinking with more softness, that's a victory worth celebrating. This is the core of your healing journey, the wound itself. The Three of Swords reminds us that some pain doesn't fade quickly. It lives in the body, the memories, the spaces we avoid. But here's the truth. The fact that you're still hurting doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. And healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means feeling without being consumed. This card invites you to stop pretending that everything's okay when it's not, to stop apologizing for how long it's taking. Some heartbreaks echo longer than others, and that's not a weakness. That's the depth of your capacity to love, to care, and to hope. And now, that hope is ready to come back online, not to rush the process, but to remind you that beyond this pain, there's still possibility. You're not stuck here, you're moving through it, one heartbeat at a time. So how do you heal and move forward? By letting others back in, by letting yourself feel again, and by celebrating the fact that you're still here, still open, and still capable of joy. Your light hasn't left you, it's just been waiting for this exact moment to shine again. That's what I'm getting for pile 1. If this resonated for you, please let me know in the comments, and of course, like and subscribe. See you next time. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's jump right into it. The energy of trapped in fear sets the tone here, and it's speaking volumes. You may feel stuck, not necessarily because of what's happening externally, but because of how deeply certain patterns have embedded themselves in your mind. This is the kind of fear that doesn't just show up as panic, it lingers in the form of hesitation, self-doubt, or even silence. Your healing begins with realizing that the lock on the door isn't as solid as it seems. The fear isn't fake, but it is built on old stories that you're now being asked to rewrite. There's something you've been afraid to let yourself want. Maybe it's vulnerability, maybe it's success, maybe it's just peace and the fear of what happens if you let your guard down and don't get it. This reading is about understanding that fear is not the enemy, it's the messenger. It shows you exactly where healing is needed most, and right now, that healing starts in the mind. Your future self is gently affirming, even if you can't fully see your way out yet, the moment you stop feeding the fear, the walls start to dissolve. You don't need to feel brave to begin healing, you just need to begin. There's a layer of self-protection that may have turned into emotional distance. When this card is reversed, it suggests a sharp inner voice, one that might be critical, cold, or even dismissive. It can also point to someone in your life who mirrored those same traits, reinforcing the belief that your emotions had to be filtered through logic or suppressed altogether. But beneath that guarded exterior is someone who's hurting and trying to make sense of it. You've likely had to become your own protector, sharpening your intuition into survival instincts. But now that sword is heavy. Healing begins when you realize that you don't have to keep defending yourself from a war that's already ended. This card invites you to soften, to speak with yourself with less judgment and more grace. The healing path isn't about being tough all the time. It's about learning when to set the sword down and let your emotions breathe. Change is not only possible, it's inevitable. And this card is a reminder that life is moving, even when you feel like you're not. Something in your external world is about to shift, a stroke of luck, a moment of clarity, or an unexpected turn that brings you closer to where you actually belong. You don't need to force it, you just need to stay open. The wheel turning upright is a signal that the universe is ready to move with you, but only if you release the need to control how it unfolds. Healing, in this context, is about surrender, letting go of rigid timelines, letting go of the fear that things will never change, because they are changing, whether you feel it yet or not. Your future self wants you to know what's next is bigger than what's behind you, and the more you trust the process, even the uncomfortable parts, the faster you align with the version of life that's waiting for you to step in. There may be wounds here around recognition, feeling overlooked, unacknowledged, or like your efforts never quite landed the way they should have. Maybe you've been working hard, healing quietly, and showing up, and it still feels like no one sees it. That can build resentment, or worse, make you start believing that your progress doesn't count unless it's validated by others. But the truth is, healing isn't always visible, and it isn't always celebrated. Sometimes it happens in silence and in small choices no one else sees. This card reversed asks you to stop waiting for the applause. Your success, your growth, and your movement, it's still real, even if it's not reflected back to you yet. Your future self wants you to reclaim your worth, not through performance, but through presence. You're not here to be admired, you're here to be whole. And that starts when you recognize your own light, regardless of who claps for it. There's a disconnection here from your sense of hope, and maybe even the idea of healing is possible. The star reverse doesn't mean you're doomed or lost, it means you're tired. Spiritually, emotionally, energetically tired. And when we're in that state, it's hard to imagine a future that feels any different from the present. But this card also brings quiet encouragement. The light hasn't gone out, it's just been dimmed, maybe by grief, disappointment, or the slow erosion of trust. But the path back to hope is still here. You just don't have to run toward it. You can crawl, inch, or rest along the way. Just because you can't see the light doesn't mean it's gone. You're still connected to something greater, something sacred. And in time, you'll feel that again. Let yourself believe in the possibility of peace. That's where healing begins to regenerate. This is your renewal. The Page of Cups is the first whisper of emotional rebirth. It doesn't come loudly. It doesn't arrive as a tidal wave of happiness. It shows up as a small flicker of softness, a daydream, a kind word, maybe a feeling you didn't expect to feel again. It's your heart slowly reopening after being closed for too long. This card suggests that part of your healing involves allowing yourself to feel something again, without judgment. You don't need to define it. You don't need to figure out what it means. Just let it rise. This could be the beginning of a new connection, a creative spark, or simply a lighter relationship with yourself. You've made it through the thick of it, and now something tender is ready to grow because you made space for it. That's the opportunity now, to believe that you can start again, no matter how heavy it's been. So how do you heal and move forward? By softening the fear, trusting the turn, and letting your heart reopen, even just a little. Hope is returning. Let it find you. That's what I'm getting for pile 2. If this resonated for you, please let me know in the comments, and of course, like and subscribe. See you next time. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's jump right into it. The presence of light is beautiful in this context, because it's not just optimism, it's also awakening. You've been moving through a period of darkness or uncertainty, but you're finally beginning to glimpse a way forward. That light isn't just something outside of you, it's something you're reconnecting with inside of yourself. This reading shows that your healing process is already underway, even if it doesn't feel like it. You're not stuck, you're re-emerging. This card suggests that your spirit has been quietly regenerating, like a sunrise breaking through an emotional fog. There may be moments when you feel like yourself again, even if briefly. That's not a fluke, that's progress. Your future self is here to affirm, the pain didn't destroy your light. It just taught you how to find it again, even in the hardest moments. This next phase of healing isn't about fixing, it's about remembering your strength, your worth, and your joy. And as that light returns, so does your power to shape what comes next. Support is a key piece of your healing journey, not just emotionally, but practically. The Three of Pentacles shows that collaboration, mentorship, or community could be a part of what helps you move forward. Whether it's therapy, creative partnerships, or simply being witnessed by people who get it, you're not meant to do this alone. This card reminds you that healing doesn't have to be an isolated internal process. Sometimes the right people arrive to help rebuild, not because you're broken, but because everyone needs scaffolding while they rise. You may be receiving guidance, feedback, or resources soon that help you take tangible steps towards a more grounded and empowered version of yourself. The message here is simple but profound. Let people help you. Let yourself be seen. There's power in allowing others to show up, not as saviors, but as mirrors, affirming your strength while you rebuild it. You're in the process of releasing pain that once felt all-consuming. This card reversed is a gentle sign that the hardest part is behind you, not because it didn't hurt, but because you're finally letting go of the tight grip it had on your heart. The healing isn't instant, but it's active. Every day you choose not to dwell, every time you catch yourself breathing easier, that's recovery in motion. This pain may have involved betrayal, loss, or simply the collapse of something you deeply hoped for. And while the memory might still sting, your body and spirit are no longer living inside the wound. You're stepping out of it piece by piece without needing to pretend it never happened. This card asks you to acknowledge that you are healing, even if you don't always feel strong. Even if you still cry, let that be enough. Your future self is already standing in the peace you're slowly building now. This energy brings up questions around stability, particularly financial or emotional. You may be recovering from a period where security felt compromised or where someone you depended on let you down. This card asks you to reassess what stability truly means for you now. It might no longer be about material success or external validation. It's becoming something deeper, internal resilience. There could be a pattern of overworking, overgiving, or tying your worth to productivity that's ready to be healed. Perhaps the way you've been trying to hold everything together has started to crumble, not to punish you, but to reveal a better foundation. This card encourages you to pause and rebuild with intention. You don't have to carry everything, and you don't have to be unshakable to be safe. Your future self is building a version of success that feels more rooted, not in control, but in confidence. Let go of the pressure to have it all figured out. You're learning how to trust yourself, not your circumstances. This is where the work pays off. You're entering a phase of focused healing, where consistent, intentional effort leads to real results. The Eight of Pentacles reminds you that growth isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it looks like showing up for yourself every single day, doing the small things that slowly but surely change everything. You may be learning new tools, emotional, professional, even spiritual. You're refining your process, your perspective, and your sense of purpose. This card confirms that whatever you're investing in now, whether it's healing, training, or self-care, will return to you multiplied. You're not spinning your wheels, you're building. Your future self wants you to know your effort matters, even when no one else sees it, even when it feels repetitive. This path you're on, it's not glamorous, but it is real, and it's leading somewhere solid. Here's your surge of momentum. The Knight of Swords brings clarity, urgency, and forward motion. After a period of emotional processing, this card suggests you'll soon feel ready to act, to make a decision, speak your truth, or pursue something with renewed energy. There's no more waiting for the perfect moment. You're creating movement because you are ready. This energy is fast, but not reckless. It's fueled by conviction. Something becomes clear, and once it does, there's no going back. You're stepping into your healing with intention, even if the road isn't fully mapped out. The important thing is, you're moving. So how do you heal and move forward? With clarity, support, and the quiet discipline of choosing yourself day by day. The light is already within you. Now it's time to follow it forward. So that's what I'm getting for pile 3. If this resonated for you, please let me know in the comments, and of course, like and subscribe. See you next time.